everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the Hey Jude podcast. Today, we have with me my guest for the night, Keith.
Yo,
Welcome to the show, Keith.
yo.
Is there how you feeling? How you feeling? Let's get to some simple questions first.
Man, feeling feeling like Valorant sucks. Yeah.
Valorant sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
Although it's fun. It's
It
fun.
is fun. It's a fun game. What do you want to tell the audience about yourself? Tell the audience about yourself, Keith.
Well, my name is Keith,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, if you haven't
Yeah.
heard yet. And honestly, there's not much to me. I literally play video games like 24/7. And I mean, I would consider myself kind of decent at some of them.
You're kind
Other
of
than
decent
that,
at
I
them.
mean, yeah, other than that, I just kind of sleep super late
Night
and go to
owl.
sleep super late.
Mm,
That's really all there is to me.
there's all that is to you. Well,
I mean, there's a
hopefully
lot
we'll
more, but
find out a
like,
little more about you as this show progresses. Um, how about let me ask you a little question. What's your favorite race?
my favorite race. Well, if I was answering truthfully, um, I don't have a favorite race because I mean, that wouldn't make sense. That would be having some sort of racial superiority built into you.
Amen. Amen.
I don't I just don't feel like any race is better.
All right. Yeah, I'm
Uh
just clearing you through some filters to see if you're racist or not. All right.
but if I was
But
if I was joking around,
joking around.
I would probably say white people
White people. Why would you say white people, Keith?
because it would be a funny joke
It would be funny
to me.
to you?
Maybe not all.
Hmm. Well, now that we got that out of the way, do you like pussy?
Well, I do like vagina. I'm not sure. Yeah, no. I don't like anything but vagina. I guess there's the female anatomy. I like pretty much all of it. It's kind of nice.
All right. That's good to know.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
So you like pussy. You're not racist, but as a joke, you would say your favorite race is white. What's
yeah.
wrong with you?
What is wrong with me?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Keith?
Like that's a good question. It definitely depends on what part of what's wrong with me you're trying to get out. Like there's different types of things that could be wrong with me. Like am I mentally insane? Why do I suck at video games? I think the big thing that's wrong with me is I'm very annoying. I'm very like not I don't want to say self-centered because I'm not really self-centered, but the thing is that when I find something funny and somebody else doesn't, it's almost like I get offended. I don't get offended, but it's like I don't I don't care. I don't care if they find it funny or not. I'm still going to say what I want to.
So you are like a me first thinker kind of person. Would you say that? Would you say you think for yourself first and then take in other people's thoughts?
Under the situation of things that are in relation to humor, yes.
So
I would agree with that.
when you're making a joke, you don't care how hard it hits someone.
Not really.
Not really. Do you see that as a flaw?
I can see that as a flaw, but a lot of the time I feel like it builds character for the other person because then they learn how to withstand a lot of ways people could talk about them, a lot of things that people could say to them
Mm-hmm.
that would affect them. It helps them overcome that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think it's really a good thing.
Okay. Now, from what I know about you, you're in marching band, right?
Yes,
Why do you do
I
marching
do
band?
marching band.
Why do you do marching
Why
band?
do I do marching band?
Yeah.
I do marching band because I have I have a great passion for music and being able to add in the aspect of being loud in music and playing just almost obnoxiously loud just to get your sound across through the entire field is a really nice feeling. It's fun, and including when you include the physical aspect of it, it's something that I really enjoy doing.
So you really put
Although the
your heart and
practices,
soul to your performance.
yeah, yeah.
So you're more than what you were saying at the beginning, You're a passionate artist. And if I remember correctly, you're into other instruments, right? You
Yeah, I play quite a few of them.
tell the audience what you play.
I mean, I can play my main instrument is alto saxophone. I can
Nice.
play the other kinds of saxophone, there's multiple. I can play I can play alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, bari saxophone, soprano saxophone, that's a given. There's about 4,
Jack of
at
all
least.
trades.
Yeah, there's 4 of them that are, like, actually mainstream, and then there's I can somewhat play clarinet, somewhat play flute, there's ukulele, guitar, bass, and my I can play piano. And then my favorite instrument to exist really is the cello. I want to learn how to play it again because when I learned how to play it a long time ago, I wasn't really great at it. I just played it
Mm. Yeah.
along with violin and viola. It's just the stringed instruments. I was younger.
Yeah, I was in orchestra as well. And kind of crazy to think about it. Before I joined band, I was on viola and I got sick of viola. I remember I was thinking about maybe like kind of regretting going to viola and how I really should have picked the cello because I just got sick of
Oh
orchestra.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wonder if I had gone with cello, um, I might have never joined marching band. And because of that, that there'd be like a ripple effect to that. I would have not never met some people, and this show wouldn't be happening right now. As a matter of fact, never known you
That
would have
is
existed, Keith.
that is valid. That is a valid point.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about ripple effects?
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I mean, I think all the time I think about, man, if I would have just gone back and not did that, there's the butterfly effect. It would have taken place, and I would have just not been anywhere near where I am today. And the fact that that could have happened, and the fact that it didn't happen, it just says something to me. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very easy to get lost in the past, but I
So
try
easy
I try my best to not dwell on it. Do you find yourself
all
dwelling
the
on that
time,
all the time?
all the time. It's a character flaw. It's a good one though.
Character flaw. A good one? You see it in
It's
a
a good
positive
one.
light?
Yeah, it's a good one because well, almost all character flaws are good. It makes you you. Without them, you wouldn't be you. There's a 99.9% similarity in everybody's DNA, and that 1% is what made your character flaw. So there's got to be something there.
That's a very interesting outlook on that. I've not heard many people talk about flaws in such a positive manner. Are you a positive person?
Um, Not necessarily. I'm a very I'm a very I don't want to say pessimistic or Debbie Downer, but like I'm just really realistic. Like very I try and keep everything as real and level-headed to the ground as possible. It's my it's the thing that I try to do most. And sometimes it can take a toll on me and other people, but I think to me personally it feels like the best way to have the best outlook to have on honestly everything.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. The best outlook on life is
The
trying
real
to
one.
be the most, yeah, try to be the most clear with it.
Yeah, you don't
On the
wanna
question of
put anything behind a mask.
life and existence as such, do you believe in God or a higher power of any sorts?
I'm not really a religious person of any sorts. Honestly, I just wanna live my life and, whatever happens after that, I'm cool with it.
That's all you really can do is live your life.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a god or a higher being, then I'm not gonna be mad about it. Um, I really won't care.
Yeah.
I'll just I'll say hi to them when I die. That's all.
What would you say to him? A
What would
higher
I say
power.
to
What would you
them?
what would you say if you had the chance to speak with
To speak to
the
them
most
now?
powerful thing ever? What would you say to them?
I would ask a question. I would ask them, how did they make our existence come to reality?
Yeah. I'd want to know
I
who
could
created them.
that's a very good question. That's a very real concern. How if you created everything, what created you? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, almost a paradox of sorts.
It definitely does match some of the requirements of paradox.
I find that I can get lost in the scope of things sometimes.
Right?
Like, usually late at night. It's good
Oh
to,
yeah, definitely late at night.
like,
That's why I think that's why I think it's best for everybody to sleep at night, or else you just get lost in thoughts,
yeah.
or at least occupy your time.
I think there's two different types of star watchers. People who look up to the
Yeah,
sky. I think there's two different ones. There's the ones that feel so tiny and irrelevant. And then there's the other ones that are just happy to be a part of it all. I
yeah.
usually lean toward that, but when I'm down, I can find myself in the,
Oh yeah, I'm like right
more
in between.
nihilistic look. You know what nihilistic
Yeah.
is?
Um, I could use context clues and make a guess, but not really.
A nihilist is someone who believes that nothing matters.
I feel that way a lot.
You feel that way? Have you heard of absurdism?
Absurdism. I think I've heard of it.
It
I do
is
not.
almost an extension of nihilism. I will tell you about it. Absurdism, uh, it basically is an extension of nihilism. It says that since it is almost impossible for like the idea of existence, and that there is no meaning to it, and that's okay. So basically, absurdists just accept that they are existing and they live with it and try to live their best life. I see
That's
myself as more of an absurdist. I feel.
I can agree with that. I think we exist. There's really no reason for it. We just do. And I think we might as well just go with it. It doesn't really matter why, but why not stay here? Have a good time.
Yeah, might as well since you're in for the ride.
Yeah. It might be a
Space.
long one too. It
It might
definitely
be a
feels like
long
a
one.
long one.
It is a long one, but it'll feel short if you let it.
Oh yeah, totally. Or if you shorten it.
I guess so. Well, hope no one does that. Live your best life. Live it to the fullest.
Live it to the absolute fullest.
Absolute fullest. Maximize. Maximize on what you have, I guess.
Maximize, not minimize.
Space. Stars.
Space and stars, the universe.
Space programs. You heard about Jeff Bezos going to space?
I have not. That one's interesting.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is planning on going to space. He's
That one's
gonna
not that one's
I
the
think he's
not the
going up with
most.
his brother. And in
Oh,
response there's been some petitions to keep him there.
of
To
course.
keep him there. I think they have a pretty high number. How do you feel about that? Do you think Jeff Bezos should just stay
I mean,
away from us humans on Earth?
if he leaves, I, I don't have a strong opinion on it. As long as he leaves somebody to manage Amazon in the correct way, because Amazon is a necessity for my everyday life. Oh my god, it really is.
It is.
Yeah, I everything I get is on Amazon now. We don't even have to go outside. It's so nice. There is downfalls to that, but I find
Yeah,
it
there's a lot of
pretty
falls.
nice. I find it pretty nice that we can just order things and get on with our day, especially if we don't want to inconvenience our entire day just to go outside to go buy something that's not really necessarily needed.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Amazon, it's just a shit show of how they run their employees. You know, you have truck drivers who are scheduled in such a tight way where they can't even take bathroom breaks and they have to use bottles to fucking piss. I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like the employees' lives are being inconvenienced for the convenience of the customer. I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. I still use Amazon
Think
because
I think
I find myself doing that. But one day I'd hope to, either Amazon moves past their shitty way of treatment to their employees, or I just stop using Amazon.
I think they're working what they're getting paid for. I don't think like I think there definitely could be better management, but I definitely think they are getting paid for what they're working for. I've heard that a lot of Amazon jobs that you can work even young, you get paid ridiculously well. I actually haven't seen very many Amazon employees complaining as much as like other places like gaming companies. Gaming companies is way worse. Like the work that they're putting in and how much they're getting paid, it's that one's a
Well,
little
because
bit ridiculous. That's
they
far fetched.
undergo with development, they undergo there's a certain tactic used by companies on their developers called crunching, which they
Yeah,
work overtime, usually not paid overtime, mind you.
yeah.
And crunching is deadly in a way.
Oh my god, it's terrible. It's
It
awful.
it
I
stresses them
think
out. Stress is not good for your body, obviously. And they spend so I mean, think about this with your parents. Um, most of them they work 5 days a week. So, they only get like 2 days to really spend time with family. Now think about
yeah,
an employee under crunch who's usually working 6 days of the week, and sometimes even in those 6 days they're working even more than their normal hours,
Hmm.
all while like not really getting that much pay. What have you? No white bots.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that Amazon is actually paying their employees, unlike a lot of shady things that can happen in other industries. I think that they're doing a good job giving them the money. I think they're just not doing a good enough job at managing their work time
Yeah.
to get the money. But I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I guess it is fair to say that you do sign up for it, even if it is a little bit not fair. To me, it
Mm.
seems fair of sorts to say that, yeah, you did sign up for that, but
I don't know if
it's
I'd have
also
to
it's also
agree
not
with
kind
you
of
on that.
it's also not kind of fair. But I mean,
I feel like developers have a passion, and they should be able to pursue that passion without having to live an unhealthy work-life balance.
oh
That's how I
yeah, of
feel. That's how
course.
I feel about it. I don't feel like it's what they really signed up for. It's just the thing they take so much passion in, and I think that passion should be respected with a healthy life.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's how I feel about it.
I think their passion should be respected, but when you're starting out in your passion, there's certain things that are just like mandatory to happen for you to build further into your passion. If your passion is truck driving, you have to start out at the very bottom, and you have to start out in maybe not the best of conditions. I'm not saying like shitty conditions like what's going on in a lot of like places and industries and organizations and all types of things. Like I'm not saying you have to start out at like god awful whatever else. You don't have to be like treated awfully. I'm just saying you have to start somewhere, and that somewhere has to be at the bottom to get to the top, or else the top wouldn't exist.
Mm, I think a very interesting way of looking out at it.
It it is an interesting way to look at
If
it.
I remember correctly, you do crypto, don't you?
I do. It is a big part of what I do.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I've
What crypto do
made
you do? Which ones?
so I do for a long time I focused on um let's see. For a long time I focused on this one called IXEC RLC. I don't know what that stands for. Um but it's an Ethereum token, which just means that it lives in its own open universe and that it has no real owner.
Hmm.
It it was at a point where it was so low that I was like, "Huh, I can invest in this." And I did, and I doubled, honestly. I went up to about 900 from like 400, so I made about $500, and it was pretty much at an instant. It happened instantly, and I made $500, and I decided it would be best to let it sit and see what happened, and it just went back down, and now I'm extremely at a loss of money. I'm like way down, and I've lost a lot of morale in the subject. I do plan on getting back into it at some point when I, have a job or whatever, start investing harder and
Mm-hmm.
just throwing stuff everywhere because I don't have any serious bills to pay. I have about one to pay, but I usually can manage every month, and it shouldn't really be a problem. There was
Okay.
other than IXEC, there was Cardano. I was looking at that one because Elon Musk had made the tweet that he was looking into some really what's it called? What's the word? Like green. it was really green. Um, I'm blanking. It was
Green
uh
energy?
yeah, green energy, clean energy. He was
Yeah.
looking into clean energy sourced cryptocurrencies because Bitcoin was not a green energy sourced Bitcoin or Bit was not a green energy sourced uh coin. So he was looking into more, and Cardano seemed to be one, and everybody has started investing into it, which in turn raised the price. I was looking at it for a while, but I think the biggest two that I had gotten into at one point was the Decentraland. Um, that one had had some really interesting things about it. It was very intriguing when I first learned about it. It was where it was this it's its own universe really. It's like a digital universe, and you can put money into it and in turn use that money to buy land in the Decentraland universe, and you could play on this virtual realm and essentially build more money or increase the value of your land to where if you spent $50 on land, you could increase the value to like thousands of dollars and sell it.
Mm.
So it was kind of just like cryptocurrency investing and trading, just rather with land that was digital. It was really good. It was really intriguing and really cool. And then the other one, Polygon, it's called Polygon Matic. I actually knew nothing about it besides it's also an Ethereum token, and I to this day I still really don't know anything about it. I just knew that it was doing kind of good. And then of course there's Ethereum, which is the root of a lot of coins right now. There's like I said, IXEC is an Ethereum rooted coin. Same thing with Decentraland and Polygon. It basically just means that it lives on its own digital universe. It has no real owner, and it has no physical form or anything. It's its own entity. It's its own digital entity, and it cannot be manipulated by one person. Neither can it be obstructed or created. It has to
Mm.
be almost weirdly enough sought into existence. It's like you
So
have to
how does it have value
it it gained its value
if it
literally
can't
just
be
like
interacted with or
yeah,
influenced?
so it is influenced by who's like by the amount of people that are investing into it, but like one
Oh, okay.
person can't like directly influence it by like doing anything physical or even digital besides buying it.
So like a big investor can't really affect its pricing too heavily compared to like a
No,
smaller
not
investor.
if a bunch of smaller investors came together and start decided to cryptocurrency mine, they couldn't beat a big investor who decided that they were going to put a bunch of money into it. The difference between what the small investors who were cryptocurrency mining to the big investor doesn't have nearly as much of an effect on it as
Hmm.
the cryptocurrency miners because they could when they do the cryptocurrency mining, it increases the difficulty on it, which makes it I want to say it technically makes it more valuable to a certain aspect because it's harder to cryptocurrency mine, which means it takes longer, which means it gains more value in turn, I guess. Although that might not be 100% true, I think that is the way that works. It's a very weird process, and it's a very weird endeavor, and it takes a lot of time to understand more about it, and I don't claim to know everything because I really don't. I really don't know anything about it. It's very hard to understand. It starts out as a blockchain, which blockchains are technically the cryptocurrency, and it goes from there. I don't even know how to explain it. I barely understand it myself at this point. I want to learn more about it, and uh, I want to I want to endeavor further into it at
Hmm.
some point in the future. But it's kind of hard to right now when morale is so low for almost everything.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot of crypto's been crashing.
Oh
So
yeah,
would you
it's on a
recommend the
down.
audience to stay away from crypto for now?
I wouldn't recommend the audience to stay away from it. Actually, I think the best time to get into it is when everybody's pulling out of it. Not necessarily like,
Right at the
oh, start
drop.
throwing money into things the second everybody's like, "Oh, this is a bad industry." Like, when everybody's pulling out of it, like, they don't wanna invest anymore, they wanna keep their money. They wanna they don't wanna they don't wanna try and trade it anymore, they wanna keep their money is when you should start putting money in, I think, and then right now is kind of a good time to right now is kind of that point in time. Although with all of the economic changes due to the new president, there is a lot of things on a downfall. I don't think it nearly has directly such an impact on the cryptocurrency market as like other things, but it definitely is. It definitely does affect the cryptocurrency market, and it doesn't even have to be in a bad way. It could just be so many different things. But it definitely is. It definitely is. I wouldn't say that it's like something that you need to actively watch out for because it's really not. It doesn't really affect it like people say it does, but it 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 definitely still does affect it. It's weird. It's weird. The whole
Right.
the whole economic system of the entire United States and everything else in the entire world just kind of is weird. It's all weird.
Yeah.
It's too hard to understand.
All right. Well, thank you for the economic advice. Um, let me see here. Now, from what I understand, you talked about how you play a lot of games, right?
Yeah, I do.
You play a lot of games. I've played many games along with you.
Yeah.
And there's a certain word you use a lot, certain expression, uh, dog water. I have a question from someone in the audience. They go by Sectoid. They're wondering who is dog water and who isn't, and how you differentiate between the two, the haves and the have-nots.
So the term dog water is it's a very significant special term. It's not something that was like it was like it almost appeared out of nowhere. Like it really did. I haven't heard a single person say it's prior to what like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, seven, eight. I don't know, however long it was. I have a
Hmm.
very weird perception of time, but prior to that, I had literally never heard the phrase. It appeared out of nowhere, and it was like a it's a it's a phrase to tell you that you're not good at something, or to tell you that you're not good at all. Like if someone calls you dog water, they're it's not necessarily malicious intent. It's more of like it's kind of like calling somebody trash in a video game. It's like you suck. If you're getting called dog water, you suck. And you're probably in the position to be called dog water because, you're losing.
So people who
I
get called
think
dog water, they did it to themselves.
almost almost technically, yes. It's like
They had it coming to
if you
them.
yeah, you didn't spend nearly as much time as the person who's calling you dog water, and in turn, you get called dog water.
Am I dog water?
At at a at a certain game,
At a certain
at a
game.
certain game,
What game would that be?
you are. I would consider you to be dog water at Valorant, just
At
like I
Valorant.
am.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. But
honestly,
I'm on the
Valorant's
same level as you. Is that what you're saying? I'm as dog water as you are?
no,
Well, you
definitely not.
sound like okay.
I
Damn.
think I think I think I think we're on two different levels of dog water.
Okay.
I'm
But
I'm
we're
dog
still
water.
swimming in it.
Yeah, So I guess you could say we're on like the same region of Valorant players. We're lower end players,
Yeah.
but I'm like closer to the top of the lower end players, and
Okay.
you're like middle of
All
it.
right. So
So there's like a
let's say dog water is like a pool. I'm
right.
in the 6 foot end, and you're in like the 5 foot end or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Glad we could clear that out.
That is that it's something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Would you like to do some audience questions? There seems to be a few that are pretty eager.
That sounds good. I think
All right.
that's
We'll
a
start with um the user Lil Bicep. I've this user I know personally. I've spoken to them about you and your use of Dogwire before, so I'm very interested to see how this goes. All right, come up, Mr. Lil Bicep. Hello.
Hey, Jude. I gotta go sleep.
That. All right. Well, rest well, Lil Bicep. Rest well. All right, and now we have a question from your dear old friend Squid. Let's hear what they have to say. Come on
No,
up, Squid.
okay.
Hi Keith, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are
I'm
you,
great. I'm
Squid?
doing great. This has been a great podcast so far. Shout outs to Jude.
Hey, thank you.
Shout
Um,
out to Jude.
my question for you, Keith, is could you please tell us a bit about Alley Fan Club and also especially the Church of Alley? Is that something you believe in still?
So, Alley Fan Club is something that I had thought about at a certain point in time, and I mentioned it, and it was approved, and so that somewhat makes me the creator of the server, although my great dear close friend Jude had a huge
That's me.
impact. That is you. You set it up and you brought it to life more than anybody. And then it became some sort of holy grail, and now it's a church that we all believe in.
Yep.
It's our life revolves around this God. And do I still believe in it? I very much do. I think she is definitely the most holy person in the entire world, and if it were anybody to rule the universe, it should be her.
All right. Well,
Amen. God
squid
bless you
slash
both.
squid slash alley. I hope you're glad that you got your plug-in for the podcast. Would you like me to link the alley fan club in the description?
Yeah, please do.
All right, I'll be sure to do that. I'll move you back to the audience now.
God
Oh, I cut off God. I'm sorry for that. All
God
right,
bless.
we're gonna bring up Wormy Dragon, our previous guest on the show, famous D's Nuts joke maker. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, fellas
What's
and
up,
Yeah.
Wormy?
fellas? You guys were on the topic of Valorant, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just
Very
have
much.
a question to Keith here. You know, we were just talking about Plants vs Zombies, but are you quite the gamer yourself?
I would definitely consider myself quite the gamer. I
You're
do play
quite the
quite a
active guy on Plants
yeah.
vs Zombies. But I just want to bring up another game. Have you played Sea of Thieves?
I have not actually.
You
I've heard
haven't?
quite a bit about Sea of Thieves. That's
See,
the
they
one.
even got like a Pirates of Caribbean update. Did you hear about that?
Oh, I think I've heard something about it. Yeah, I think so. I think I have heard I think I've definitely heard something about the Pirates of the Caribbean update to Sea of Thieves, although I have not heard much about it, really nothing at all, because I don't know anything about the game. I haven't heard anything really about the game. I
Okay.
just know it exists, really. I don't even know what it's about.
All I just wanted to say was, well, Sea of Thieves nuts.
All right. Sorry you had to hear that. Sorry about that, Keith. You know what? We'll take more audience questions near the end of the show. I want to bring it back. I'd like to show you something. Oh, never mind. I'll show that to you later. Maybe near the end of the show. Let me ask you something. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years?
Yeah, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself in 10 years out of either the military or college, either one. Whichever one I'm going to is a very iffy question. I have no clue yet. Both are possible.
So you're considering joining the military?
I definitely am.
You're definitely am.
Yeah, but I think in 10 years I see myself having finished either one of those. I'll be hopefully, you know, working a stable job with solid hours and just kind of living my life and hopefully pursuing some dreams that I've had for a while, like astronomy. I really enjoy again, like video games. I'm almost obsessed with them. I
See
really
yourself
can
as a
see
gamer in
myself.
10 years?
Yeah, I can see myself still playing games. Probably not nearly as much. Definitely not nearly
You'll
as
be
much as
busy.
now. I'll be way more busy, but I can see myself still, you know, interacting with them and keeping in touch with the markets and probably pursuing more things about computers and computer science, engineering, and all types of stuff like that. My good friend Allie is pursuing computer science, and it intrigues me. I was pursuing that at some point also.
All right. Well,
So
you seem to have a pretty strong path forward set for yourself. For the next segment, we're gonna have to move channels. So live audience is gonna need to sit tight for a little bit, but this is very important. So I'm gonna move you, Keith, and we're gonna do something very important. All right, Keith. What I'm about to show you is very important. I need you to watch the live stream that I'm about to stream to you. Keith,
I'm watching.
all right. Hold up, just give me a second. I need to display it. All right.
What I'm trying to say is, you're gonna be a senior this year, and I'm still in middle school, so I think that we should just be friends.
Maddie B, can we get a statement, anything to address the rumors?
If you love something and it's true, then they say you should let it go. Might rip you to little pieces, but when it comes back, you know. Told you I do, but I think it's best I lay low. Plus, I can't explain these cuties he texting me on my phone.
Oh my, look at that face.
Gotta try my hardest not to make a mistake. Try the single life for a change, get these numbers erased. Only ladies that I'll be calling is my mama and Sarah Grace.
Now I'm focused on my first love.
And tell these shorties my music is something they ain't above. It's the last time I put cuties over my rhymes. The times are changing, it's strange, but I'm focused, I feel amazing, man.
So hey, let's be friends. I'm dying to meet, I'm such a fan.
Okay, everything I said, I take it back. What? You really think I pass on a face like that?
So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if my heart was worth the pain. Got along this love ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But you know I love the player, and you love the game. Gets me young and we're restless, I'll take this way too far. It'll leave you helpless, or with a nasty scar. Got along this love ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
So what's a young type love like me supposed to do? I gave this girl my heart, even though I said I'm through. Now she telling me I caught her, but I think I got the flu, cause I can't stop. And her fingers look crossed when she said bless you. Now my legs are like spaghetti from this heavy ragu. Either there's something in the sauce or I'm sweating from the food. I ain't trying to be rude, but Miss Crazy worth through. She got me stumbling, fumbling on my way to the door. Vision blurry, and so I'm
extreme. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if my heart was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But you know I love the player, and you love the game. What's beyond you and restless? I'll take this way too far. It'll leave you helpless, or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. But I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel um there's not a good answer to how that makes me feel. There's there I don't think there's a good answer to how that makes me feel. That makes me feel intrigued as to the
Intrigued?
thought behind intrigued as to how the thought came to be to make that. And who had the
That
thoughts?
was MaddyBRaps, famous white kid rapper. I
I
have a morbid curiosity with the Mr. MaddyBRaps. It seems like you had almost a similar reaction.
that is morbid curiosity could be taken multiple ways,
Yeah.
but if you take it the correct way, then morbid curiosity is the correct way to word it.
hmm All right. We're gonna move back to the audience stage now.
All right.
All right. Keith, get up here. There you
Oh,
are.
I
All
forgot
right.
I had that.
All right. Now that we've had you endeavor that, I'll have the live audience wait for the upload to see what that was all about. Do you want to bring in some of these other questions we have?
That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Wormy Dragon, aka Whammy, I'll bring you up one more time. I hope you make this right. And you do this right. I don't want to be disappointed again. Hi, Wormy.
Hi. I just have one question.
What would that be?
So Keith, are we chill?
We are
We
chill.
chill. Okay.
We are chill.
That's good. Is
We
that
super
all?
chill. Well, just cause I don't know. I just want to keep things positive with Keith. We chill.
That's
We
good.
chill. We
We
chill.
super chill.
We are chill.
Am I
We are
dog
super
water
chill.
though?
You just
Or
like
am I Doge water?
you are definitely Doge water if it were anything.
Okay. That's my question.
All right.
Okay.
I'll move you back now. You know, I'm glad this podcast can be used to spread some positivity. It's good to know that
That
we're all
is
chill.
that is
Now,
needed.
I'm gonna bring up Mr. Sectoid, which I've already mentioned. He was the man who asked the dog water question, and I'm gonna bring him up here to just confront you. Let's see what he has to say. Come on up, Mr. Sectoid.
I just want your opinion on something real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it, Jude. Did you mute Rhythm Bot?
Fucking dumbass. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Editor Jude here. Here's the clip that Sectoid wanted to show, Keith.
Number 6, tiny cheese. In this clip, a small round cheese is gently unraveled and then put under the heat of a knife. The knife slices through with magnificent ease as the cheese boils and pops into the air, with small spots of cheese landing where they may.
All right. Are there any other questions from the live audience before we get into the wrap up for tonight's show? Oh, Wormy again. Oh, Sectoid. Oh, Taybone. All right. Taybone 05. Come on up. Let's see what you have to say. Hello? Awesome. She had to grab a quick picture, I guess.
We have been
Do-
officially caught in 4K.
I guess so. Do you want to bring Sectoid up again? Are you comfortable with that?
I think we can ring Sectoid up again one more
Alright.
time.
All right, Sectoid.
Okay. Well, what do you think about this one then? Play it, coward.
What?
Play it, coward.
You just want me to play the audio?
Play it, coward.
I'm not gonna do that, you head ass. Moving back to the audience. Alright. Looks like Whammy has one more question.
Sorry, I know I've been up 3 times. This is my
Yeah.
last question.
Alright.
Yesterday we were watching Taybone, yes, play Plants vs Zombies, and
Correct.
we had a lot of different opinions about strategies about with the plants. I was wondering, what's your favorite tower in the game? I know you spoke so highly about the potato mine, which was quite the G, but
Yeah.
is that your favorite one, or do you have any other, maybe late game plants that are coming useful?
I think I would say that my favorite out of all of them would have to be definitely the potato mine. He's just so irresistible with all of his potato-ness, and it just makes me it makes me happy as a person
He's
that he
wholesome.
exists. He's very wholesome.
When he pops up, he just chills.
Yeah, he
What's
just
also
chills.
wholesome? It's your PFP, your
Oh,
profile
thank you.
picture when you
Thank
talk.
you.
I just find it
It is
awesome.
it is I love it. It's
All right,
it was inspired by Ali.
that's awesome.
Allie is an inspiration to all of us.
All right, that's
He
my
really
question.
is.
Before I go,
Alright.
D's.
He's gone. That's a
Funny one.
it's a real I've been waiting to use this for a good while. Oh, it looks like Taybone wants to come back up. Do you want to bring Taybone back up?
Let's give it one more shot.
All right. One more chance, Taybone. Don't fuck it up.
Hello?
Hello.
Yo,
What's up?
Nothing much. Keith, I have a question for you.
that's good.
I know. What's your opinion on cosmic brownies?
Cosmic brownies.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm torn because cosmic brownies on one hand are really good,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but on the other hand, they taste really cheap. Like they taste really what's the word? Uh I can't I suck at words sometimes, but it's that one word that's like, oh yeah, processed. They taste really processed. You can tell that they're not real brownies. They're like they're made some way different than real brownies, and it's off-putting, but they're really good. It's kind of crazy. I feel like that's why so many people like them because it has a unique flavor, similar to
Thank you.
brownie.
Thank you.
All right.
Funny one.
Baba Booey.
That's a Baba Booey moment. All right. I think we're ready to wrap up, Keith. I like to end the show with one last question. I asked Wormy Dragon this last episode. What do you want to be remembered for, Keith?
I want to be remembered for the guy who made people laugh, if anything.
Well, I think you're already starting to succeed at that, Keith.
That's good.
And I think that is a wrap for tonight. Keith, you've been a wonderful guest, and it's been a great time. And
Of
I hope
course.
everyone has enjoyed this episode, and hope you can stay tuned for the next one.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It was a fun experience.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Number 6, tiny cheese. In this clip, a small round cheese is gently unraveled and then put under the heat of a knife. The knife slices through with magnificent ease as the cheese boils and pops into the air, with small spots of cheese landing where they may.